Even if you cruised just 5 years ago, there are likely things that you loved that cruise lines have changed or taken away. From nostalgic things that made cruising feel special to cutbacks that save cruise lines money, these are the things not found on cruises anymore that you likely want back. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, cruises remain a great way to travel and vacation, but if you're anything like me, you might miss some of the big and little things that made the whole cruise experience feel a little bit more special. Now, it's not all bad. After all, life evolves and cruises evolve, and you might even agree with a few of these things. But when we polled our community, these are the most important things that cruisers miss and would love to see return. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Number one, free room service on every cruise line. Now, I remember just before the pandemic, I think every cruise line had free or included room service. And I'll tell you, when my kids were young and we first started cruising, this was one of the things that I liked best about cruising. It really made the cruise feel like not only was it a great value, but it felt like we had a luxury that we were not able to find at most hotels and resorts. Now, for the good part, there are still some cruise lines that include room service. Personally, I like it even if it's just on occasion. And a lot of other cruise lines at least do include continental breakfast, which I do take advantage of. But let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. Number two, the midnight buffet. Now, this is getting really nostalgic because we didn't see this 5 years ago. I think it has to be at least 10 years, maybe more, since we saw midnight buffets. But many people say, you know what? I'd love to see the occasional midnight buffet or even a chocolate buffet, which I think cruise lines did have about 5 years ago, and you are seeing it less and less. Now, I think we can all agree there was a lot of food waste, so I definitely can understand why cruise lines did away with that. At the same time, I think most of us are really kind of eating differently than we were even 10 or 15 years ago. But that extravagant midnight buffet, I think it is something, at least in some way, that many of us do miss. Number three, if you're a Carnival cruiser, I think you're going to relate to this one. Tablecloths on the tables. Many Carnival cruisers, especially those who've been cruising with Carnival for a long time, say, Carnival, please bring back the tablecloths, at least on Elegant Night. And I think I do have a little bit of a part B to this, but on Carnival recently, instead of having pens in the cabin, apparently they're giving out pencils. This is causing a little bit of a kerfuffle, if you will, where people are saying, Carnival, please don't take away the things that we love, even the little things. Bring back the Carnival pens. Number four, paper planners. Now, personally, I like a paper planner, and that's basically a daily schedule of the activities, the opening hours, etc. I love that. I do also use the app these days, but somehow to plan ahead, I like to sort of peruse the paper planner. I might even still use a highlighter once in a while. I know that's a little bit old school, but many people say, you know what? I don't even want to have to request one on the first day from my cabin attendant. I want to see one in my cabin every single day. Now, please let me know your thoughts on that one. Paper planner or app? Please let me know down in the comments below, or even if it's both. Number five, speaking of the dining room, unlimited lobster tail. Now, this was definitely something that even up until just a few years ago, on elegant or formal nights, it was pretty much tradition that most cruise lines did have a lobster tail meal that was part of the main dining room menu on those formal nights. And this is definitely something that's changed. Some cruise lines don't even offer lobster included. You have to pay an additional fee to have a lobster meal, while others still offer it, but limit it to one lobster tail rather than 2, 3, 4, 5 that people would order in the past. Number six, let's still stick with the main dining room. Royal Caribbean. Many people want Royal Caribbean to bring back the classics on the main dining room menu. Now, it's been about 2 years since Royal Caribbean has made that change, but this still remains a very strong request among Royal Caribbean cruisers. Now, by the way, if you're somebody who likes main dining room cruise food, I have a bonus at the end of this video that might be something that you loved and now miss. Number 7, turn down service or twice a day daily housekeeping. Now, I'm honestly not sure why. This one is always a little bit controversial. Now, just to let you know, some cruise lines still have twice a day daily housekeeping, while others have gone to once a day daily housekeeping starting about 2 years ago or so. And by the way, the tips for the crew, the cabin attendants, that all still does remain the same. Now, some people say, you know what, you don't even need twice a day daily housekeeping. You guys are kind of spoiled. But other people realize that when you have twice a day daily housekeeping and the cabin attendant can just pick up any of those towels that you might have used to get ready in the evening time, especially if you've gone to a port during the day, or they've been there just to turn down your bed. It is a little bit of a luxury, absolutely, but it is something really nice on the cruise. Now, either way, please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Number 8, towel animals. Now, a lot of people share that they loved to get towel animals every night of their cruise. And this is definitely something that a lot of cruise lines have done away with. There are some cruise lines that might give you 1 or 2 during your cruise. And I have to say, for myself, when I do see a towel animal, I definitely think it's cute. It's very nice, but it is not something that I need. However, I will tell you, when my kids were young, they walked into the cabin, and we did too, and we saw these different towel animals. Sometimes the cabin attendant would put sunglasses on or something like that, and it definitely really made some incredible family memories. Number 9, better staffing numbers for the cruise. So this one is actually a little bit more serious. Many avid cruisers say, you know what, I notice that the crew just seems to be working so hard. It seems like on many cruise ships, there are maybe less crew for more passengers, and they notice it. And it's not that the crew are not doing a great job. After all, I think a lot of the time, the reason that we come back to a certain cruise line is because the experience has been so good. And that is due to the crew on the ship. And it does seem like, perhaps due to cutbacks, it does seem like that's something that has changed. Big tables in the main dining room and making new friends. Now, this is definitely nostalgic and probably goes back more than 5 years. But when we first started cruising, we would have traditional dining. You could choose from early or late dining. And then you would sit with the same people the entire cruise, have the same waiter and assistant waiter. That definitely did make the experience special. However, when I did ask my husband about it, he said he actually does prefer it now. Now, you still can share a table on many cruise lines, but most of the time we sit on our own now. And I think many people do, not everybody. Let me know your own experience down in the comments below. But this is definitely, I think it's some memories that I really treasure, but I'm actually kind of happy that we do have different options now. Number 11, all-included restaurants and all top quality food. Now, I think those days have long gone for most cruise lines, that now we do have specialty dining, and the quality, or at least maybe the options in the main dining room, that's definitely changed. And cruise ships are bigger, so it does make sense. They can't do what they did, 15 years ago on smaller to medium-sized cruise ships, on cruise ships with 5,000 plus people in a main dining room. But you know what? There are some people that did notice. They said, you know what? Virgin Voyages actually does have included sort of specialty dining, I guess, restaurant dining, and that's almost the same thing. Let me know your thoughts below. Now, I do have a bonus after this one for main dining room food lovers. But number 12, ice sculptures. Now, it has been years since I've seen those incredibly elaborate ice sculptures that you used to see when you walked into the buffet or even sometimes the main dining room. Now, I have seen ice sculpture demonstrations, but it really has been a long time since I've seen those elaborate ice sculptures elsewhere. All right, now for the bonus, cold soups. So many cruisers say that they remember having many different types of cold soups on the menu, like every night of the cruise. And I'm not somebody who likes cold soups, by the way. Frank actually enjoys them. And we said, you know what? It's true. There are still sometimes like one cold soup available during the cruise, but it definitely is not something that you see all the time. Now, I never liked them, so it really isn't even something that I noticed, but so many people said they love the strawberry soup, they love the peach soup, and they'd love to see cruise lines bring back more cold soup. So what do you miss on cruise lines that you wish cruise lines would bring back? Let me know down in the comments below, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.